Motor touring designs in the 80s and earlier didn't change much. Naked bikes with simple aesthetics, minimal fairing, and aerodynamic features were the norm. Riders valued comfort and practicality over futuristic looks or advanced technology. However, everything changed in 1988 when BMW launched the BMW K1. This motorcycle brought a breath of fresh air to the industry with its out-of-the-box and futuristic design, far ahead of its time. Curious about how the BMW K1's design became controversial in its era and what advanced features were included in this bike. Let's delve into it. The development of this motorcycle was driven by the emission regulations in the United States and Europe, which were being aggressively implemented in the 80s. These regulations required vehicle manufacturers to better control the amount of fuel entering the combustion chamber. In simpler terms, they had to ensure that their vehicles produced lower and more environmentally friendly emissions. From a technical standpoint, emission control is easier to achieve with engines that have more cylinders with smaller capacities. Engines with more cylinders allow for more even and efficient combustion and smoother throttle response. In response, global motorcycle manufacturers began developing more efficient and eco-friendly four-cylinder engines. For instance, the Honda GL 1200 Goldwing, introduced in 1983, is an early example with a redesigned four-cylinder engine that provided more power and torque. Suzuki entered the touring motorcycle market in 1985 with the GV 1400 Cavalcade, equipped with a V4 double overhead cam engine with 4 valves per cylinder. The following year, Yamaha enlarged the V4 engine on the Venture model to 1300 cc, while Kawasaki introduced the ZG 1200 Voyager with an inline-4 DOHC engine with 4 valves per cylinder. BMW, recognizing this need, quickly developed a 4-cylinder engine capable of meeting strict emission regulations in the United States and Europe. As part of this effort, BMW decided not to use a flat 4 engine that might remind consumers of the Honda GL 1000 Goldwing. Instead, BMW took a different approach to avoid seeming imitative. In 1977, Joseph Fritzenwenger introduced a prototype using the PSA Renault X-Type engine from the Peugeot 104. This engine, mounted at a 72-degree angle in the Peugeot 104, was laid on its side in line with the motorcycle frame, known as a longitudinal 4. The crankshaft was on the right side of the bike, while the cylinders, pistons, camshaft, injectors, and spark plugs were on the left. This longitudinal engine arrangement not only kept the center of gravity low, but also maintained the bike's handling stability at high speeds. The engine prototype was further developed by Stefan Pechernig, who added components such as the Bosch LE G-tronic fuel injection system, also used in the second-generation BMW 3 Series cars. This system replaced the traditionally used Bing carburetors on BMW motorcycles. Then in 1983, using this engine, BMW launched the K100 model. This touring bike immediately caught the attention of many motorcycle enthusiasts. The K100's advanced and high-performance engine sparked a wave of excitement among riders seeking a more advanced and efficient riding experience. Not stopping there, BMW's management saw an opportunity to compete with Japanese manufacturers and attract younger riders. They introduced a sport touring motorcycle concept styled as a racer designed by visionary designer Karl-Heinz Abe. This model was presented at the 1984 Time Motion exhibition and inspired the creation of the BMW K1 prototype. Committed to limiting the bike's power to 100 horsepower in accordance with German regulations at the time, BMW decided to take a different approach. The alternative was to create a motorcycle with an extraordinary aerodynamic design, capable of reducing air resistance and enhancing performance efficiency. The K1's aerodynamic design was intensively developed in wind tunnels, resulting in a very low drag coefficient. This innovation allowed the K1 to reach high speeds despite its power limitations. With full fairing that covered the entire bike, The K1 not only looked futuristic, but also offered aerodynamic performance never before seen in mass-produced motorcycles. With a 987 cubic centimeter inline-4 liquid-cooled engine, the K1 generated 100 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute, and a peak torque of 100 Newton meters at 6,750 revolutions per minute. The engine was equipped with the Bosch LE-Getronic fuel injection system, replacing traditional carburetors, along with other advanced features like digital ECU, controlled catalytic converter, and ABS braking system, making BMW the only manufacturer to implement ABS technology at that time. For the chassis, it used a robust tubular steel frame, providing the rigidity and stability needed for handling high performance. The front suspension featured 41.7mm Marzocchi forks for precise handling and ride comfort. At the rear, the BMW K1 was equipped with a paralever swing arm, an innovation from the GS dual-purpose model, paired with a gas-filled Bilstein shock absorber to enhance suspension response and damping. Although this motorcycle was designed for high-speed stability with excellent handling, its weight of 234 kilograms made it less competitive with other superbikes. Thus, the K1 was more suited for long-distance, high-speed travel rather than racing, which required rapid acceleration. One unique aspect of the BMW K1's design, unusual for its time, was that its standout design could actually be beneficial in the event of an accident by providing passive protection to the rider. The fairing around the knee area and fuel tank was designed to help protect the rider's legs and body from serious injury. Looking back, we can see that there were several factors contributing to the BMW K1's lack of popularity during its time. Although the bike offered aerodynamic design and advanced technology, there was one major hurdle: the unfamiliarity with its unconventional design. At that time, motorcycle riders preferred slim and futuristic designs. They paid more attention to appearance and style, rather than aerodynamic functionality. The K1's revolutionary and unconventional shape made many riders feel alienated and hesitant to try it. Riders of that era didn't fully understand the benefits of aerodynamic design, such as better fuel efficiency and increased stability at high speeds. This made the K1's innovations less appreciated and harder to accept in the market. Despite its limited production span from 1989 to the end of 1993, the genius of the engineers in designing this motorcycle is certainly worthy of appreciation. There is no definitive data on how many units were sold, but the reality is that the motorcycle is now rare, and those who own one are very fortunate. I think that concludes our review of the innovative BMW K1 with all its controversies and merits. I hope you found it useful. See you again in the next interesting video.